Warning: this podcast may contain graphic violence, sexual themes, and bad language. If our language offends you, we apologize, but we do not give a fuck. Be mindful of your kids listening.
The Evil Never Dies podcast.
Did you know a young boy drowned here? He was my son, and today is his birthday.
You won't believe my parents' cabin.
Here we are. Very nice, huh?
Just get your ass to the door and don't ask. Ready?
Hey, I'm not from around here, but I'm looking for my sister. She's gone missing. Have you seen her?
She ain't missing. She's dead. People go missing around here, they're gone for good. There's something out there.
We gotta get out of here. Come on, you guys. Oh my god.
This place is called Camp Crystal Lake.
Sure you in there?
Police, open up!
Help! We got guys killing everybody!
His name was Jason, and today is his birthday.
Happy Friday the 13th. Well, when you guys hear it, it's 2 days later. This is the Evil Never Dies podcast. I'm Carl Todd, along with your host, Evil Bubba Brett. How are you tonight, Brett?
What's going on, Carl?
You're sick, ain't you?
Fucking sick, dude. It
That's
sucks.
why I had to do the intro. And it is Friday the 13th here in Texas.
Yes, it is. All day long. And everybody keeps fucking dying.
Everybody keeps dying except for Jason here.
Except for Jason. Jason lives.
Yep.
Yeah, we lost, what, 3 people today, dude?
I don't know. Some guy from Bachman Turner Overdrive died, I think.
Yeah, and Robbie Knievel and...
Well, they said Robbie Knievel's been dying he had pancreatic cancer.
Yeah.
So I guess he's been dying for quite a while. I have no idea what happened to Lisa Marie Presley.
I don't
Halloween,
know, man.
stop. Sorry.
This is the cat climbing shit.
I have a whacked Halloween Friday the 13th cat running loose.
Stop,
yeah,
Halloween.
Bubba's been sick.
Yeah.
Bubby's been sick.
I hope I didn't sound too much like shit on the midweeks. If I do, I apologize.
I listened to briefly the midweek. I had a rough week at lunch. I usually listen to all my sound tests and listen to the show. And I just got to last week's show today, and the sound sounded a little funny. I think I was leaving the mic too much. I kept crawling around last week, and I could tell. So I got to quit moving around so damn much.
You're supposed to keep it about a fist away. Is what you're supposed to be
Hell, I
away
was
from it, I guess.
running around all over this room last week.
Is what I've always been told. Well, you're used to running around with them headphones on.
I know. I kind of missed the headphones.
I guess if you need to run, you can throw them on. And
yeah, actually, I could. I think they would automatically. I will test that, but not right now.
Yeah.
So, everybody, it is Friday the 13th here. I'm repeating myself, so take a drink.
I'm not drinking tonight.
Well, whoever's doing the Natasha drinking game, I repeated myself. Oops, now I'm knocking the mic over. I am drinking tonight.
You are?
Orange Mandolin, or the Mandalorian, or whatever it's called.
The Mandalorian.
So we're taping. By the time you hear this, it will be Sunday.
15th.
The 15th. So lucky Sunday the 15th. But being Friday the 13th, of course, we're going to have to talk about our good friend here, Jason Voorhees. And I pulled out the box set. This has got every Friday the 13th movie ever made, except for the exception of one thing. And I've got that right here with me. And that's Friday the 13th, the series. I've even got it here with me for Friday the 13th.
That's awesome.
Which had nothing to do with Jason.
No.
But I got it anyway. I even got this little booger. His name was Jason. It was a bunch of documentaries, third person. It wasn't done by Paramount or New Line. But we were going to do another movie, and I told our host, Brett, we need to do a Friday the 13th. And we did the first one with the
original.
Jimbo.
Yeah.
On Tragedy of Cinema podcast. And I think we may have done part 6, but I can't remember.
I think we did.
Shit, I don't know. I'm losing. We're gonna start
around.
doing repeats here eventually. I can see it happening already.
No,
some of the things need repeating because they suck. Sometimes they suck. So
I'd rather do Flesh for Frankenstein than repeat something we've already done.
Not me. I'd rather repeat. But Brett came up with the idea of we're gonna do Friday the 13th, the remake, or the reboot, whatever you want to call it. So I thought that was a good idea because this movie has sort of disappeared. You don't hear much about it. It's sort of forgotten.
Yep.
And I haven't watched this thing in a number of years until last night.
Same with me.
So good idea. So for Friday the 13th, instead of doing a random movie, we're actually going to do the reboot or recut or
reimagined.
Whatever. Reimagined. I think it's one of those Michael Bay movies. And remember, Michael Bay reimagined the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and it was done very well.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, that's probably one of my top 3 Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies. The review, remaster, reboot, whatever the hell we call it. So Michael Bay decided to get with New Line and Paramount, and they did Friday the 13th in 2009, I believe.
Yes, it was.
Okay, I'm just taking a wild guess.
Directed by Marcus Nispel, and he also directed the Texas Chainsaw remake. And what was that? 2000? What was that? 2004, 2003?
Oh, and before I forget, anybody that wants this box set, it's still for sale from Scream Factory. It didn't get rights pulled, so you can still pick this bad boy up.
Oh, really? What's that running?
I don't know. I bought it the day it came out.
Money was no object, huh?
No, not when it comes to movies. No, I order them 6 months in advance.
Yeah, I do that on some stuff too.
So same director from the Chainsaw reboot.
Yep. Screenplay by Damian Shannon and Mark Swift. Story by Damian Shannon, Mark Swift, and Mark Wheaton. Based on characters by Victor Miller. who did the original screenplay for the original Friday the 13th from 1980. Produced by Michael Bay, Sean S. Cunningham. Who's he, Carl?
Sean S. Cunningham is the director of the first movie.
Yep.
And also the guy that the writer from the first movie has been in a lawsuit with for like the last 15 years over the rights.
Yep. That's a big fight. Big fight. All right.
I think it's been solved, but I don't know details, so I'm not going to speculate.
Who would have thought that a big fight like that would have come over a pretty low budget horror
movie
1980, you know?
Yeah.
It's made billions of dollars. Other producers were Andrew Form and Brad Fuller. Cinematography by Daniel C. Pearl. Edited by Ken Blackwell. Music by Steve Jablonsky. And he's done musical scores for many horror movies. Lots of horror movies. All right, production.
The score doesn't really hold for me like some of these movies we watched the past few weeks.
Yeah, I know.
Pretty generic.
This is probably the worst one he's done, I think, because
I agree.
He done a couple of the Halloween ones, I think, and some other ones too. I can't.
Yeah, it didn't hold up as well.
All right, production companies. Here's where it sort of gets screwy. New Line Cinema, Paramount Pictures, Platinum Dunes, which is Michael Bay's company.
It is.
Crystal Lake Entertainment, which is
Don Cunningham's
production company. And it was distributed by Warner Brothers in North America and Paramount Pictures internationally. They had a premiere viewing at Mann's Chinese Theater in Hollywood on February 9th, 2009. And then it was put out for wide release Friday, February 13th of 2009 in the US. Running time is 97 minutes, which I thought it was shorter than that. It wasn't a very long movie.
It moves pretty,
Moves pretty quick. Country of origin, United States. English language. Budget was $19 million. Guess how much they made at the box office?
98 million?
Close, 92.7.
I'm just guessing. I knew it made over 90.
Yeah. All right. You want to go over the plot, Carl, since my voice is going out?
You want to do the plot before the cast?
Yeah, let's do the plot before the cast. Let's change it up.
We're going to change it up. I'm actually going to do this the right way, too. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Whenever I do the plots, sometimes I fuck them up. So we're going to do it the right way. All right. I'll use my radio voice. On Friday, June 13th, 1980, a young Jason Voorhees watches as his mother, Pamela, is beheaded by a camp counselor who is trying to escape Ms. Voorhees' murder spree around Camp Crystal Lake. 30 years later, 5 friends arrive for a camping trip at Crystal Lake, where they find a crop of marijuana growing in the woods.
Well, they were actually looking for it.
Were they looking for it? Well,
yeah,
they found it.
They were looking for it, actually. They had GPS coordinates for it.
And that's the night that Jason pretty much goes on a killing spree, except for one, because it looks like his sister. So he leaves her around. And 6 weeks later, Sam Winchester shows up. So that's the plot right there. And then Sam is trying to get this girl that he claims is his sister, which she's not really, free. So that basically this is a supernatural episode, folks. If you watch Supernatural, and it was actually around 2009. Sam and Dean actually broke away from each other for a year or two, and I guess they always use fake names and aliases. So for whatever reason, Sam and this girl have something going on. I think he plants her to go find Jason, and there we go. Sam Winchester shows up, and him and Jason having issues. So there you go. The witch class says, say.
All right.
Spoiler free, except for Sam Winchester, of course.
Let's go over the cast.
Okay.
All right. We got Jared Padalecki
As Sam Winchester.
Actually, his name in the movie is Clay Miller.
Yeah, that's his alias for this.
That's his alias.
You know, they've been Hall and Oates, they've been Bonham and
weren't they Angus and Malcolm once too?
They were.
AC/DC.
They were Eddie and Alex once. They were Sammy and Dave once. They've used, and then this one he uses an alias. Sorry, folks, it's a supernatural episode. That's the spoiler for the night.
All right, next we got Danielle Panabaker as Jenna, Amanda Rigetti as Whitney Miller, Travis Van Winkle as Trent, and he was a dick.
Is he the rich kid?
Yeah, he was the rich kid.
I didn't mind him. I don't know why he brought all those dorks with him.
Then we got Aaron Yu as Chewie.
Chewbacca was in this?
Chewbacca.
God damn. Didn't even know it.
I can't do a Chewie imitation. My voice is too fucked up to even try it.
I'll keep going.
All right. Derek Mears as Jason Voorhees. And Caleb Gus as young Jason Voorhees. Jonathan Sadowski as Wade. Juliana Gould as Bree. Ben Feldman as Richie. Arlen Escarpeta as Lawrence. Ryan Hansen as Nolan. Willa Ford as Chelsea. Nick Mennel as Mike. America Olivio as Amanda. What a name. Kyle Davis as Donnie. Richard Burgee as Sheriff Brackey. Nana Visitor as Pamela Voorhees.
And you know who she is?
Who? Nana Visitor?
She's from Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
Oh, okay.
She's the whatever you call it, the fuck, I don't know. I ain't watched Star Trek in a year. She was the Bajoran person on Deep Space Nine.
Okay.
But I don't think it's her voice in the movie.
No, it's not. It's a lady by the name of Kathleen Garrett.
I wonder why they did that.
All right. All right, let's go over the production, I guess, and development. They had a hell of a time getting all together to make this movie.
Well, yeah, because Paramount was originally owned Jason, and they got rid of him to New Line. But New Line never owned the rights to Friday the 13th. They just owned the rights to Jason. That's why we had Jason Goes to Hell, Jason X, and whatever the hell else they may have put out. I don't remember.
Yep.
So give me some info on what the freak happened with New Line and Paramount and Crystal Lake Entertainment.
It took them a year to finally get it all straightened out. And they kept changing the script up the whole time and all that.
Well, it was originally supposed to have been Friday the 13th, part 12, if you would have been in the chronology, I believe.
Yep. Yep. Let's see here.
They've yet to get the 13. What do you think of that?
Well, there was supposed to be another one, but it got yanked, I guess. So
yeah, it did. The lawsuit.
Principal photography began on April 21st, 2008 in Austin, Texas. And
good place to film it.
And ended on June 13th, 2008. And all the Camp Crystal Lake scenes were filmed at Camp Fern in Marshall, Texas, which is in East Texas.
Yes,
That's why it was so swampy looking and stuff.
Is that near Tim Mullen right there?
I think so.
I think so too.
I think it's close to him. It's right on the what do you call it? Right there, the three corners. What do they call it? The three corners.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Derek Mears was originally a stunt man, and he got hired on the recommendation of the special makeup effects supervisor, Scott Stoddard. And I guess he had already known that he was going to get the part months before he actually got the part, but he started preparing for it already. And
How do you prepare to be Jason? I guess get muscled up and shit.
Yeah, muscled up, working out, and guess trying to get his mannerisms down and all that. Because I guess when they brought him in for the for him to read for it, they were like, "You're such a nice guy, you know. Are you going to be able to do it?" And he was like, he said he I guess he's a cage fighter too. He said, "I'm a cage fighter and I got a lot of dad issues." So yeah, I can switch it over. So
he can do it. He did it.
Yeah, he did a good job.
Here's the random Natasha drinking game of the night. There's Pumpkinhead. Okay, back to the script here. Or whatever you got. I fucked you up, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. Now where the fuck am I?
See, I always fuck him up.
I don't like it when I don't drink and you do.
I know I'm drinking, but I'm not buzzed one bit. Actually,
All
I'm
right.
buzzed from hitting the boxing bag. I was out boxing tonight.
It was a nice night to do it.
I got to shed 7 more pounds in a month.
7 more pounds. Why?
Because I'm too fat.
Oh, okay.
I am.
All right.
Okay, back to the stuff.
Let's see here. Awards.
This thing got an award?
Oh, it was nominated for a Saturn Award for Best DVD Blu-ray Collection, which I think
my Scream Factory?
Yep.
It should have won an award because it is
Friday the 13th, the complete collection.
Well, it's easier to put that together than it is the Halloween box sets because you're just dealing with Paramount and New Line, which is Warner Brothers. Whereas the Halloweens, you've got too many companies involved.
Yeah. All right, Fangoria Chainsaw Awards of 2010. It won for worst film.
Well, there you go.
Nominated for a Golden Schmo Award for best tits and ass of the year for Juliana Gill.
Yeah. That movie had way too much gratuitous sex in it, I thought. Just throwing asses out there for no real reason.
It was nothing but ass and tits. The whole
Pretty much. I mean, it made the old movies look like school kid movies. It was so bad.
Yep. MTV Movie Awards. It was nominated for Best Villain for Derek Mears, but I don't know who beat him out on that. He didn't win it though.
Man.
Teen Choice Awards of 2009. Best horror thriller movie. It won.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I know. So it actually won 2 awards. One for the worst and one for the best. All right. I guess we can go over some what do you call it? Some
What are we doing here, Bubba?
I think we're gonna do some trivia.
Okay, trivia me away. We'll see if I can win. What do I win?
What do you win?
Win a Jason machete.
Oh,
Hey, he still works.
that's funny. You got all
This
the
thing's had
cool
the same
shit.
batteries in it for 15 years.
You better take him out so they don't ruin him.
He's been in there 15 years.
Yeah, but they just might decide to leak one day. Then what are you gonna do? Like my Christmas tree.
I guess he won't work anymore. That's the first time I've pushed his button in 2 years.
That was probably the last little bit of battery. Oh, there he goes again.
Now he's working good.
That's funny. All right, trivia. Richard Burgee wasn't cast as Sheriff Brackey until 12 hours before shooting started.
Well, yeah, you don't really need to cast a sheriff until the very last second. That's no big deal there.
The title card for the movie isn't displayed until the end of the opening segment, nearly 25 minutes into the film, which is one of the longest prologues for a horror film ever.
Yeah, it was a long prologue, I guess.
Yeah, it was 25 minutes, man. That was a quarter of the movie almost. Being it was only an hour and a half long. Adrian King, star of the original 1980 film, was approached by producers to do a cameo appearance during pre-production, and 2 days later they called her and said, "No, we don't want to use you now."
I don't blame him. I don't blame him at all.
Including the 2000 remake, Jason has killed around 200 people throughout the Friday the 13th franchise.
Good for Jason.
Now there were lots of nods to the original movies.
Well, actually, I think it's the first three. Isn't that pretty much what they're kind of basing it on?
Yeah, I think so. Yep.
Well, actually, the first two or the 2 and 3. I mean, part 1 is only in it for like 1 second when they kill Mama, which isn't a spoiler. Everybody knows that.
Yep. But anyway, in Jason's tunnel that he has underneath the cabin there, there's a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Which belonged to the guy in part 2.
Part 3.
No, that was part 2.
No, wheelchair guy. Yeah, he was in part 2.
Yeah. Pamela's sweater. You can see it. And movie started out with Jason wearing the burlap.
His sack, yeah.
The burlap sack.
Yeah, he had his sack.
Which wasn't introduced until part 2.
Well, Jason wasn't in part 1, so.
No. I'm just saying as the franchise goes.
Gotcha.
And then he found the mask, and that didn't show up until part 3 of the original. And also Ralph's bicycle was in there too from the first one.
Crazy Ralph?
Yep, Crazy Ralph.
So I'm assuming that maybe the original movies may have happened in this world.
Maybe, yeah.
Even though it's a different year. But who knows in Jason time?
That's what this next segment's saying here. Victor Miller, the screenwriter of the original Friday the 13th, said the script was written in such a way that it could be deemed a sequel as opposed to a remake, because that it meant they could pay him less if the movie qualified as a sequel.
Yeah.
This explains the plot of the film, and it's more about the first 4 films as opposed to a retelling of the original.
Yeah, it don't retell the original at all. It just shows it in the first second.
And like you were saying earlier, Miller took legal action because he felt the script they showed him was more of a remake, but the story he came up with was considered to the first few minutes of the film. He lost his battle and was paid less.
Good for him.
He was later surprised to see that the film was advertised as a remake. Made 42.2 million opening weekend when it first opened.
I think that's less than Freddy versus Jason, but still good for a horror movie.
And it beat out the former record holder, The Grudge from 2004, that had 39.1 million. So Freddy versus Jason wasn't even on the list.
I think you got wrong information. Never trust Bubba's info. I like that Moxley Manor hat. It's popping right now.
Yeah, it is. It's nice and orange, ain't it?
Yes, it is.
According to co-writer Damian Shannon, the character of Jason Voorhees was re-envisioned as more territorial, like a hunter, someone who doesn't kill his people at random, but more like he hunts them down.
Yeah, I got
And
issues with that.
And in the most horrible manner. Yeah, I liked it better when he just didn't give a shit. And
Yeah, the whole having
whacking
secret
everybody.
tunnels underneath Crystal Lake and him, it makes him less supernatural.
Yeah.
Even though this is an episode of Supernatural, but that's the story.
Producer Michael Bay walked out of the movie premiere stating that the movie featured too much gratuitous sex.
He's right. Maybe I'm just old at 51 now, but that was annoying. I agree with Michael Bay. It was unnecessary.
Yeah, there was a little much.
Am I just old now?
This was only rated R, wasn't it?
It was just R.
Didn't get the NC. I'm surprised it didn't get the NC-17.
Well, now I'm watching the killer cut on Blu-ray, so I don't know what was in the theater versus the Blu-ray either. So
is there more tits? And more
I have no
tit-ass?
idea. I don't remember. There was too much of that. Yeah, that was too much. Like I said, I'm just old now, I think.
Actress Willa Ford was given 10 days to learn how to wakeboard for her role. She said the wakeboarding itself wasn't as nerve-wracking as do it topless. Really? They were paying her good to be topless.
They all had bad boob jobs in that movie, too.
Except the one girl. The one girl, they were pretty nice, I have to admit. On hiatus from their show, both Jared Padalecki and Jensen Ackles starred in two remakes of 80s slasher films. Jared doing Friday the 13th and Jensen doing My Bloody Valentine 2009.
He was in that.
Yep.
I think they both thought they were going to become movie stars at that point.
Jared also starred in the 2005 remake of House of Wax. That was before Supernatural even aired.
I think that was, yeah. That'll always be known as the movie that Paris Hilton got killed in.
All right, already went over the hockey mask and the burlap sack.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Oops.
There's a follow-up to the movie. It was slated for release for October 13th, 2017. It was all set to go into production.
And
February 2017, it was announced that Paramount had pulled the plug.
was it because of the lawsuit, or was it just because Paramount's like, F this?
Their excuse is they went forward with the movie Mother, which failed horrendously.
Paramount's always like failing movies and canceling other stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think Paramount's a big fan of horror movies anymore. Mother, that was a terrible movie.
Yeah, it is.
Whoa, I made that drink too strong.
Too strong?
Yeah.
What, not enough water or not enough
Oh,
ice?
too much vodka.
Derek Mears is the 9th actor to portray the adult version of Jason Voorhees.
Well, he wasn't the best.
No, I'm still fond of
Kane.
Kane Hodder, man.
Kane Hodder was Jason.
He just the way he used his stuntman capabilities to do it and all that. And I guess
always
Derek
reminded-
Mears didn't do a lot. He didn't do some of his own stunts.
Well, what the fuck? He's a stunt man.
Yeah, I know. Like I said, it was the second remake by Marcus Nispels. He did the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2003 also.
I really like that movie.
You know, what's this? Platinum Dunes was going to announce that they were going to do a theatrical release of the movie. But after a year of no news where production stood on the sequel, producer Brad Fuller confirmed via his Twitter account the sequel had gone out of production because of litigation.
Ah, the lawsuit finally reared its head.
Reared its ugly head.
We could do an entire episode on this Friday the 13th lawsuit. I do believe it's settled now. Because I think you said there's going to be a TV series. Were you telling me that?
No, that was Jimbo last week on the
Okay.
Zoom thing. Clay and Whitney's last name is Miller, which is reference to Victor Miller, the creator, writer of the Friday the 13th, 1980 series.
I love the series.
All right.
Silence. I think you ran out
I
of
was trying not to cough. Whereas this film was shot in Texas, mostly Austin and East Texas. The original Friday the 13th was filmed in New Jersey. The Camp Crystal Lake looked better in this one though, actually. Maybe because it was like old and run down.
Probably, maybe.
Like it wasn't set up to have kids and shit there, you know. Character Sheriff Brackey is named after author Peter M. Brackey, who wrote the book Crystal Lake Memories, Complete History of Friday the 13th.
I've got that somewhere.
Do you?
I don't know where.
I figured you did.
I did. I don't know where it is. It's missing.
This film is the first Friday the 13th film to use CGI weapons, like the machete.
How bullshit is that?
I know they're saying, I guess a bunch of these scenes that they did were too risky to do with a stuntman or.
Oh, fuck that shit. That's Michael
even
Bay
with-
involved
even-
right there. Mr.
Like when the girl's wakeboarding and the guy in the boat gets the arrow through his head and the boat comes and hits her in the head. That's all CGI'd.
Well, that's because Michael Bay's Mr. Transformers. Everything he did was CGI.
Yep. All right. When exploring the supposed Voorhees house, the comment of the items being from another century is made. As the original film was 1980, this sequel is in 2009, which technically it's true. It's in another century.
That's just stupid. That's just stupid. I guess it is, but that's pretty stupid.
Oh,
It made me choke. It was so dumb.
excuse me. Co-writers Damian Shannon and Mark Swift were also involved in both the conclusion of the old Friday the 13th series and the start of the new one.
If you call this a start.
Indeed, their first produced script is their second. That was for Freddy versus Jason. And the last installment in both the original Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street series, even though Jason X takes place later than that.
Yeah, it's
2001. Oh, let's see here. Scout Taylor Compton auditioned for the role of Jenna, which eventually went to Danielle Pennebaker. Had she gotten the role, this film would have been the second remake of a classic horror film for Compton after Halloween 2007. She would have loved getting her tits out in the movie. I know that. So,
Oh yeah.
have you heard her and Danielle Harris's podcast?
No, I have not.
Yeah, they got a podcast.
You've told me that 20 times now.
Yeah, they're dirty girls.
You told me that 50 times now. All I gotta say is Michael Myers. Where's Michael Myers when you need him?
All right. You got anything else, Carl? I'm about over the trivia here.
You want me to give my review of the movie?
If you want.
I don't got anything else other than to talk about this movie.
Well, tell what you got to say.
Part one, I watched it last night on my PlayStation 5 and my Vizio TV, and the movie is way too fucking dark. You can't see anything going on hardly. It's way, way over dark.
Oh, really?
I'll give it credit for one thing. It pretty much shows that all these Friday the 13th movies are the same thing over and over again. It's executed very poorly in this.
Yep.
It's almost like a parody of Friday the 13th in a way.
A little
They
bit,
take
yeah.
it too seriously to the point where it becomes parody for me. It's way too serious. And you can't take a movie like this serious in 2009.
Exactly.
The special effects were mediocre.
Yeah, definitely mediocre for sure.
Yeah.
I think they could have got away with using a lot more practical effects than using all the CGI.
I agree.
But like you said, Michael Bay, he's the CGI king, so
He is. I don't know how much he had to do with any of it. Like I said, I honestly feel like it's a second-rate episode of Supernatural almost. Now, there's better episodes of Supernatural by far.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So my overview is that there's a reason why I haven't watched this movie in about 5 years. I don't care for the movie a lot. I'm not a big fan of this. I don't think it was done well. I don't like the whole Jason having tunnels underneath Crystal Lake. It sort of kills the supernatural effect of Jason. They try to explain why Jason is Jason too much. And the rich guy with the big house, why would he bring a bunch of stupid losers with him up to his house? That didn't make any sense.
I don't know either.
Too much racial profiling in the movie for me. They try to, especially with the Asian actor, I didn't like the way they treated him.
Yeah.
So there's not a whole lot of positive I can say about this, except for Sam Winchester sort of kicks Jason's ass at the end. The end is awful. We're not going to give it away because we're not spoiling things.
Yeah,
I'm not a big fan.
Just put it this way, it set it up for a sequel that never happened.
I'm not a big fan.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of it either. Did you go see this in the theater originally when it came out?
I'm sure I did.
I didn't. I waited for it to come out on DVD, I think.
I don't remember seeing it in the theater, but I would assume I probably would have, but I don't remember it.
I'm pretty sure I got a burnt copy of this.
Now, I was a big Supernatural fan, so now I don't know if Madison had gotten into Supernatural by this point or not, but she fell in love with Sam and Dean, so I'm sure she would have watched this, but I don't know if I would have let her with all the over sex in it. So yeah, there's not a whole lot of this movie that I can say I enjoyed. Honestly, it's way too fucking dark.
Yeah, it
I
is.
noticed that last night. I'm like,
Yeah, I noticed
I
it
haven't
too.
changed my hue lights. I'm like, I was watching it in orange, and I'm like, well, maybe orange isn't the way to go. So I turned the lights off, and it just got darker. So
Yep, it was. Even the day scenes were a little dark on some of them.
yeah,
Like when they were like in the house at that the rich guy's house and stuff, it was still dark.
yeah.
Yeah, they could have
I
did.
don't have a whole lot positive to say on this one. I'm sorry to tell everybody. I'm
Derek
not going to
Mears did,
slam
he
it
did
like
an
I did
okay job.
Pumpkinhead.
Derek Mears did an okay job as Jason, but
He
he,
gets a
he
C.
he was just more diabolical, I think, in this one. Like he was thinking about how he was gonna kill
Yeah,
kill
I
these
don't like
people.
that.
He didn't just go fly off the cuff and kill them however, in the moment. They
Yeah,
were almost sort of planned out. So all right, Carl, well, if you ain't got anything else,
they're going to rate this thing. How many hatchets are you, Jason hatchets, do you give Friday the 13th,
Jason
2009?
Machetes,
Machetes, hatchets, whatever you call them. Hatchet, machete, what's the difference?
I'm gonna give it 2.5.
Hey, you just updated show notes too.
What's that?
I just got an Evil Never Dies updated show notes.
Is it the fuck off Bubba movie?
When is the fuck off Bubble movie getting reviewed?
I don't know, man.
Well, this Friday the 13th, and let me tell you, there's been some sorry fucking Friday the 13th movies,
Yeah.
but this one is pretty bad. Just because Sam Winchester's in it, I'll give it a 2. Machetes. You take Sam out of it and say that's not Sam, I give it a 1.5. So yeah, I don't recommend this movie. It should be lost to time, which it sort of is. Nobody really talks about this movie.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised it made as much money as it did.
Just because everybody was excited because Jason was back.
Yeah, and what was the last movie before this?
Freddy versus Jason.
Was it? Yeah, 2000. So 6 years.
I believe so.
Yeah, they hyped it all up for sure when it first came out. I remember that.
Might have been Jason X. I don't know.
Jason X.
I can't remember if that came out after Freddy versus Jason or whatever. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of this movie. I don't know that I'll ever watch it again. I'll just keep it in my box set.
Yeah, I dug out the old burnt version of it and watched it. So
Did we ever rate all the Friday the 13th? Apparently we have not. That might be a top 13 list,
yeah,
including this series.
so that'd be a top 14, wouldn't it?
Well, let's see, 1, 2, 3,
Yeah,
4,
13.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's 12. I think there's 12
So
movies.
13 with the series.
Perhaps so.
Okay.
But
All right.
that's my thoughts on it. I'm not real not maybe when I saw it back then in 2009, I might have liked it a little better than I do now.
Yeah, it ain't held up very well.
It didn't
for
hold
sure.
up good.
So,
Give me Friday the 13th part 4 or part 6 any day.
all right. Well, that's it for Friday the 13th.
The remake.
The remake, re-envision, whatever
Whatever the fuck.
from 2009.
Well, check us out on social media. We got our Facebook group, which is growing.
Yeah. I think we got like almost 150 people in there now.
So keep come to Facebook and find us. There's a lot of fun stuff go on there.
Check us out on the YouTube.
Check our YouTube out. The YouTube is growing. And again, that Brides of Dracula has just almost went viral. So
Yeah,
we're
it's
going to
like-
be doing some more Hammer films here coming up.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm trying to go, now I don't have access to the audio, the podcast, but the YouTube numbers, people don't seem to like our free for alls. They
Yeah, I
don't
know.
get a lot of views, or people leave real quick. I thought last free for all was really good, I have to say, because I do rank the episodes that we do myself, and when we suck, I tell Brett, you can. Yeah, do I not? I text you that
You
episode
do.
sucked.
That you do.
I thought we did a pretty good job on that one, but I don't know. We're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, and TikTok, which I'm not on TikTok anymore because my password, I forgot what it was for the 15th time.
I just make up a Karabi one.
Nah. I don't TikTok. They're stealing my shit, man. They're stealing my shit.
Everybody's stealing your shit.
Kind of stole my shit. Now I got an Alexa in here listening. Hey, Echo, are you listening? Echo, where are you?
Hello.
Hello. I have an Echo talking in British. Echo, who's Jason Voorhees?
Jason Voorhees is a character from the Friday the 13th series.
See? Alexa knows it shit. Alexa, Exa, or Echo, stop. I keep forgetting mine's called Echo. Bedroom is Alexa.
All right, everybody. Thanks for listening. And hopefully my voice and shit's better by the midweek. And I will talk to you then. And Carl will talk to you next week, I guess, unless he decides he wants to do a midweek. So
I almost did the midweek this week because you couldn't talk, but I couldn't come up with an episode. I did try that Tuesday. I was trying to come up with something, and I'm like, I just don't got anything. You know me, I got to really have my shit together in my head to do it.
Yeah. All right, everybody.
Okay, let's go. Your voice is cracking now.
Stay evil, everybody.
Stay evil, my friends.